Well, I'm out in the shop with the Stratasys Connex 500, and we're going to do a little bit more cleanup today. Let me show you what I'm trying to get done. Welcome to 3D Accuracy, where I'll talk about 3D printing, 3D product design, and 3D injection and die-cast mold design. I'm back out here with the machine, and I still need to finish getting this leak cleaned up. I have spilled material in this area, I have some over here, and I have a little bit down there still that I need to get out. I want to remove this trim panel so that I can get at the edge and get all the material that ran over the edge dripped over, get that all cleaned up as well. That just looks like, appears to be a couple of screws, one here, one there, and that whole panel should come out of there. This here is actually, there's a bracket that's screwed to the frame, this bracket here, and it appears that all this mechanism here is attached to that bracket. And it also looks like, let me pull the light over here, there's not a lot, if any, of the material leakage on that bracket. So I think all I have to do is, let me hang the light here. All I have to do is remove this one electrical connector, which is attached to one of these pumps, and then I should be able to take this whole unit out of here in one piece, I think, and that'll make it a little bit easier to get back underneath all of this here and get that cleaned up. So I'll just start taking things apart, and then as I progress, I'll show you what's going on. Well, I've made a little progress and a couple discoveries, so let me show you what's happening here. Well, I have the bracket with the two pumps disconnected from the machine. You'll see the two screw holes, one there, one there. And here's that assembly. Fortunately, there doesn't appear to be any of the leaked material on it, except for a little bit right there on the back edge where it touched up against the frame right here. The material leaked down in between there. So I've got to clean that off, but other than that, not a big mess on this bracket and these components, which is good. Now, what I had to do is this tubing that feeds materials was zip tied to this harness here, and I had to disconnect that. I clipped the zip tie out. You see there's one right here in the middle also that I snipped off, and one over here that I snipped off, this guy right there, so that way I can move that cable that's all tied up with zip ties there. I can lift it up and get underneath it to clean that material off without interfering with that tubing. There's also these little connectors here that hold the wire harness in place, and I disconnected these so that now I can lift this and get underneath it to clean. So that's a good thing, pretty easy. Now I got looking more at this assembly. This is the vacuum assembly that creates the vacuum, and there is a vacuum leak problem with this machine. So on closer examination, what I've noticed is, where did I see it? Oh, yeah. Okay, you see there appears to be a leak right here. And this is not a material leak, to my knowledge. I don't think this is material. You see it's kind of white. And this, you see it down here too. There's a drip of material. And back here, you see the material right there. Now, I don't know that that's model material or support material. I believe that's something else. But this may be the culprit for the leak, just a bad connection or loose connection, something of that nature. And when I look at it from the other side, now I have to sit here funny. It's hard for me to get my balance when I'm sitting on the floor. And right in here, you'll see a little drip of material on that piece of tubing, and then farther up, it's wet there, and I believe it was wet on the other side. I can't see it really well. It's difficult to see. I have to get the light in there, and I can't hold the camera and point and hold a light. I need a helper, and I don't have one right now. So anyway, I've discovered some what appears to be leaks in that assembly. So I've got to check with Stratasys and see if, yeah, that would be the culprit, and maybe it needs a new part, maybe it needs a seal, maybe it just needs to be snugged up. I don't know, but I'll find out when I can talk to somebody. And then maybe while we're in here cleaning out the material, I can also fix the vacuum leak on the machine, which would be wonderful. Now, this whole assembly is on this aluminum plate here, and it's screwed in a couple of places. One here, you can see one there, one up here, and I'm guessing there's one over here someplace, but I can't see it. And it appears the only connection is this tube right here that attaches to this little fella, whatever it is, that connection right there. If I remove that tube, disconnect that, it looks like I should be able to lift this whole thing right out of there, which would be kind of good in a way, because then that would allow me to get underneath and behind it to clean out that material more easily also. So it would cure two things. One, I'd get it out, I can clean it out, I can make sure that I fix, if this is the leak, fix this, and then see if we put it back together. Maybe we've cured a problem there. So anyway, that's what I've discovered, the potential cause for the leak. I just have to confirm that. I don't know for sure. This is the first time I've ever had one of these machines open like this. And so I'm learning as I go kind of thing. I'm just that kind of person. I figure somebody figured out how to put this all together. Somebody else can figure out how to take it all apart and put it back together too. So I just need to get an understanding of how it works and what might be the problem, and then I can fix it. As long as I can get parts, I can fix it. It's already getting late, and I'm not going to work a long time here. I'm just going to do a little bit more, maybe clean up a little bit more of the material there that's relatively easy to do, and then call it a night. We'll do more tomorrow. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you're ever in need of 3D product design, 3D injection mold design, 3D die-cast mold design, or 3D printed prototypes or production parts, please feel free to contact me. You can find contact information in the video description. I look forward to hearing from you and to being of service to you. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate it. See you on 3D Accuracy's next video.